Hey everyone, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. And I have the next couple of pages ready for my Christmas album 2022. And this is about December 13th through the 15th. So for this one, I prepared a little, just a paper strip that will go on the left side. And then for that, I created a pocket and I did some stamping on it. And that is just not drying, so I have to be very careful with handling that where it says making spirits bright. The pocket is of a kind of a vellum paper, so it's pretty much see-through, which is what I wanted, but somehow the ink does not dry on it. I knew it wasn't going to dry fast, but I didn't think it was going to take hours and hours to dry. So anyway, here I'm starting with a strip of photos that will go top to bottom, and I decided to put them on the inside of the page, closer to where the fold is for the next page, because that keeps things flatter. And I did sew on the pocket, but you see how I'm handling this very carefully. I don't even want to put it on my desk because I don't want to smear the ink from that stamp that I put on the pocket. I did smear a tiny bit, but it was okay. I was worried with the sewing, but it was just a tiny smear, so it's not a big deal. But I am very careful not to touch, and here you see me even use a ruler so I can press down the paper somewhat behind the stamp without having to actually touch the stamp. So what I love about this is it's see-through. I can put some things in there into the pocket, but everything will kind of be seen still. And so here I used a number from my silhouette library that I've had for many years, and I just cut it out with my silhouette, and here I am adding it to this page. Then I have another title, but as we are in lockdown, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that there isn't much happening for us these days, and so there's no way for me to even get ingredients for baking. Usually I do a lot of baking for Christmas. I'm really missing it, and it's a little difficult for me, but well, we did some baked apples here, and that will suffice. I can still use that title that I created in the Silhouette store, but I also wanted to print some, or to glue some of my word strips. I do have word strips that I share on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. Right now there's some issues on my blog. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm working on getting it fixed, so don't stop checking it if you are interested in the freebies that I have there. Hopefully we will get it fixed. I'm aware of the problem, and I am looking into what my options are. So right now here I'm just adding 2 tags, one which has a recipe for my baked apples, and one which just tells the story of the day. And then I had this little print and cut from the Silhouette store, but I decided I won't use that label in there. It was just getting things too busy with the see-through, which is beautiful, which is what I want, but too busy is just not so good either. And then I have this piece of paper that will go on the background, and then I wanted to staple this piece on there, but somehow my stapler is always giving me a little bit of trouble these days, and but not a big deal. Now it worked, and so I can glue that onto that part of the page. If it's a little off screen, that's okay, because it's not much that will go there. Oh well, I guess I pulled it back into the screen, but the more important part would have been on screen anyway. So here I have a pocket. I prepared the paper for it in the size that will be the pocket, and then I had a lot of fun. If you've been following me, you will know that I have been working with these with some of my die alphas, and then I used some of my stamps, and this one is a gingham stamp, and I love how that word turned out, jolly, but it's a gingham pattern. with it, and I finally decided this is where I want to put that title, and it works just right with the green from the background paper, and so I just really like how that turned out, and it's a nice little something to embellish that pocket that will go onto this page there. Here's the little tiny dot that needs to go on top of the J, and then I'm ready to glue this onto the pocket. I am sharing this album as a freebie, as free cut files on my blog, but even if you don't have a cutting machine, you can still use the measurements from this to get what you need to, the sizes of what you need to cut, even if you have just trim by hand. So obviously some more delicate or intricate designs like a pocket like this would need the silhouette to cut it out. And I'm not sure if I can include this one because it might have been based, this pocket might have been created with the help of some of my files that I have from the silhouette store in my library, and obviously I don't feel at liberty to share even things that derive from those. And then I'm ready here. Well, there's I already journaled on my journal cards, and that card will go into the pocket. This is the page that I am talking about the books I've been reading, and well, I'm not really reading these days much, but I am listening to a lot of audiobooks as I do other things. So I'm always listening to something, and that is going to go on the list here. I'm just generally writing about that, but then I am also creating a book list of all the books that I am going through this season. And so I have a stamp set that is all about reading. Funny thing, I never wanted to buy it, but a store sent me the wrong thing and then told me to keep it. Never sent the right thing. But anyway, now I have these reading things there, stamps, and so I might as well use them. So here I am stamping just a list that I will later then continue to fill out. And I decided I wanted to stamp the back side of it too, because it's been a number of books. It might fill up both sides, or at least 1.5 of the slots that are available there. So anyway, this is also going into my pocket there. I don't have a photo, and I like that the album doesn't have to have a photo every single day, because sometimes there's other stories to tell, like the list of the music you listen to, or the list of movies we're watching. So this is for day 15, and I'm just remembering, before I'm starting to put the glue on, I realized, no, I wanted to actually stamp the day number onto this tab. This is for day 15, December 15, and so I want to use this tab, which would have gone with this, because this is a pocket insert. If you watched my previous videos of this album, you will see that at some point there is a pocket insert. There will be 3 of these, and so for each insert I also have a tab on which I then usually will put the day, the number of the day, which is kind of like a date. And so today for that is December 15th. It's not today, but that's the date. We watched, I had a couple of friends over, and we watched the Polar Express, so that's what I am documenting here on these pages. I have a journaling card that I already wrote the story on, try to have a story a day, just according to what Ali Edwards suggests, who is the mother of the December dailies. And so because this is the second insert, I'm trying to make sure it goes in the center, so that they will not be all in the tabs will not be all in the same place, but this one will be centered, and the last tab will be at the bottom of the page. And I'm using this little train stamp there just to make sure that I'm not smudging the ink in case it hasn't dried yet, but it dries way faster than the one that I stamped on the vellum, which will probably take 2 days to dry the way it looks. For the photos, I used a corner rounder for the top left corner there, so that it goes with the rounded corners of this mat that I have as a background. I'm doing the same with all the other corners. The journaling card itself was already cornered. I had it printed and then cut it with my silhouette on, like I printed it on cardstock and then cut it with my silhouette. Do that a lot. I do have a video on how I get perfect prints and cuts. You can check out, there's a playlist with how-tos, I think, or tutorials or something, and you can find it there. It works really, really, really well. So if you have a silhouette or any cutting machine, I think it would work with any cutting machine for that matter, it would work. So then I have this little stamp that is a train, and I had it stamped already. I use these kinds of stamps, and I traced it in my silhouette, and then I cut it out with my silhouette, so I don't have a die set with that. But I have this little train, and I thought, well, it is perfect. We're watching the Polar Express, the movie, so I might as well use the train on this page that we are talking about, the movie, the Polar Express. So I had this already stamped, already cut. Not sure which page I was going to use it on, but this one is perfect to put it on that page. I had never watched the Polar Express before, so it's not like a classic for me or a tradition to watch that movie. So it's a first. And so here, the other page, I still have that strip, and I'm undecided. Well, I do want to use a paper strip of my pattern paper, but at this point I don't have pattern papers of this size, like smaller pieces of pattern paper left over. This book really uses up my pattern papers well, and so I wanted to wait until I have basically finished my pages, and whatever papers are left, then I can use the paper strips for the various parts in the album that I still they're still left to do. Same as I will go back to this book and go over it and add more word strips, because I have lots and lots of more word strips and embellishments. I can add more embellishments at the end. So this is not the finished result of this book yet. But anyways, here you see the close-ups, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.